Right now, it's manager at the Cape Girardeau Nature Center for the Missouri Department of Conservation, Lacey Brzezinski, with those June events. Lacey, how's it going?
Good morning. It's going pretty good.
Yeah. It needs to not rain until at least 4 o'clock. I got stuff to do. Tired of it.
I understand that, yes.
Can't get anything done. All I do is mow grass. All right.
Yes.
You have a giant montage of things in June, I guess, because this is the time of year where the weather does improve and everybody's outside.
We try to, yeah.
Okay. So I know you have fishing days, right?
Yes. So there's a lot of fishing stuff coming up. There's free fishing weekends, which is the 7th and 8th. And so you can fish that weekend. You do not need a fishing permit. You would still need your trout stamps and those sorts of things, but you don't need your general fishing permit. So if you want to get out not this weekend coming up, but next weekend, June 7th and 8th, that's going on. Then we have our Nature Center at Night fishing program, which is June 14th? No, Friday the 13th. I'm going to remember my dates. I'm going to find it eventually.
That's okay.
Friday the 13th. And so you can come fishing with us. We'll have rods and bait and help people. And then you don't need a permit for that event either. So you've got some options if you want to get out and try fishing this month coming up in June to try it without having to commit to a permit. And then if you have the least amount of fun with it, then you go buy your permit and you do it all summer long, right?
Right. And how many times, parents, have you heard, I'm going to go fishing, I'm going to go fishing. I'm not touch the worm. I'll catch a fish. You take it off. I'm not touching anything. I'm just going to do the fun stuff. So
Absolutely.
That's what you're in for. And frankly, I'm not doing it either. So I need someone to help.
Yes.
Okay. Cool stuff. So Nature Center on the 13th, that's family fishing, but the free fishing weekend is the 7th and 8th. Got it.
7th and 8th, yes.
Okay. All right. So what else do you have coming up?
Oh, gosh, we've got some virtual programs. So if your allergies are messing with you right now or you just don't want to get outside, we have, if you're thinking about, well, I want to do a float trip, but I'm really not sure how, Alex has a fantastic program coming up about how to go about the planning parts of a float trip. That's on June 11th. We have a really interesting creature feature coming up. It's on the prothonotary warbler.
What?
So that
sounds like something out of Harry Potter.
I know. Or yes, it's and I have to think about that word. I'm like prothonotary. Every time I say it, I'm like I have to sound out the syllables to it.
Okay.
But it's a small yellow bird that's really specialized to swamps, and they're super cool when you see them because they look like these little yellow darting flames.
Aw, I love birds.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What else have we got? Oh, we've got foraging for chanterelles, so if you're interested in that, that's coming up next week, actually. That's Tuesday the 4th, Wednesday the 4th.
I can't tell you how many times I've seen mushrooms when I'm hiking or walking or even in my yard. And I'm like, I wonder if they're edible. I think it every single time, and I never, ever find out.
Good. That's the important part is you can think about it, but don't do it until you're sure.
Yeah. Some of them are huge.
Yes, yeah. I've got a bunch of inky caps coming up in my yard around a stump right now, and it's been fun to watch them kind of come up, and then I hit them with the mower, and so they kind of died off.
Yeah, good, because you can't eat those.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Don't eat the mushrooms, especially if they're in cow poop.
Not if you're sure. If you're absolutely 110% sure, then you're okay.
I'm not okay.
But you got to be sure.
Yeah. No mushrooms. No. Okay. So you do have all these really cool events, but getting back to the float trip, we've got some ads running from you guys about sometimes you're on private property. You can't just float in people's water.
Yes, yeah. So there are important things to know about how you can access shore or things like that, and that's all part of Alex's program. He talks about that when he does our float programs. He talks about it, but then also with this planning virtual that he has coming up, he'll go over all of that and how you read the river maps and kind of how long you can expect to paddle for a day, like what makes a good paddling day, so you don't think you can do 40 miles.
Yeah.
And you can't quite do that much.
And probably not a floaty from the dollar store. That's probably not a good idea because, might not make it the whole way. And sunscreen is an option, folks. Just remember, you do not have to become a crispy fried potato on your float trip, even though, I don't know, half the people I know just would almost burst into flames. But they're out there anyway. As long as they got beer, they're happy. All right. So what I saw Nature and Namaste. What's that?
So for conservation teams, so it's I think 13 to 17 this month, we have a teacher coming in to do yoga and just mindfulness and being still in nature. And it is incredible. Like junior high, high school, that stuff is incredibly stressful. I know work as an adult is also stressful. But we know that spending time in nature and being quiet and still in nature is so incredibly healing. And so this is a program that's an opportunity for teens to get out and do that. Maggie's the instructor on that, and she is fantastic. She is just a ball of sunshine.
I love that. And, my Nature and Namaste is my backyard and a porch swing. It can be whatever you want it to be, but this is something teenagers just don't know how to do.
Yeah, it's something to explore. If you've never done it before, you're like, I don't know. Then this is a perfect opportunity to get out and be like, oh, I really enjoy this, or that one is not for me.
Yeah. Well, I know you're doing your feeding frenzy, but you do that all the time. It's on the 19th. But you are doing something called Borrow a Boat?
Yes. So we are going to take our canoes up to Perry County Community Lake.
Okay.
And you can register for this program, and you can come meet us up at Perry County Lake, and you can borrow one of our canoes and go paddle around the lake and maybe do some fishing if you want to do some fishing, or just enjoy the water and the sunshine and the hopefully fantastic weather that day. But if you don't have a canoe, this is an opportunity to get out on the water and enjoy that.
And if you don't know how to use a canoe, make sure you ask, because if you stand up, you're probably going for a swim. All right. Yeah, I've been in a canoe. Yeah. All right. Turtles of Missouri. I love turtles. I love them so much, but people just don't get it. You don't pick them up because you think, oh, poor little turtle. They know what they're doing, except for how to cross a road. They're really bad at that.
They do have a tough time crossing a road, yeah.
Yeah. They're slow, and semis just that. Why are they trying to cross the interstate? Can you help me with that?
So they are trying to go back to either laying eggs. When they hatch from those eggs, that is kind of home base. And so they tend to go back to that general area to lay eggs. And then they'll leave that space to find food and shelter and water and all of those things that they need. So they're crossing because at one point in time before that interstate was there, that was just where they moved through, and now the interstate's there. So it makes it a little bit trickier. But all of our roads, our highways, all of that can pass through those traditional paths that they had used and have used across generations of animals. And so sometimes they struggle with that.
Yeah, and it drives me crazy because I love turtles, and when people run over them, they blow up, and I hate it. And so I have been known to park sideways on a country road to save a turtle. I'm like, you can hit my car. I got full coverage. I'm going to pick this turtle up with a 2x4 if I have to. I'm getting it off the road. But
the last time I moved a turtle, it was in front of Menards, and so I was parked on that little road. What is that, Seamers?
Yeah.
And I pulled over as far as I could, and I was like, oh gosh, please don't hit me, please don't hit me. And I ran the turtle across the road.
Yep.
If you're going to move them, the incredibly important thing is you have to move them in the same direction that they're facing.
Yep.
So
And
even if it's shorter to take them backwards, they're just going to try it again. So you got to get them in the direction that they're facing. You got to get them as far across as you can if you're going to stop. But you can only do it when it's going to be safe. Gosh, you got to be really careful. And the interstate is not a safe place to be doing that.
No, don't risk your life for a turtle on the interstate. But
No.
also be mindful of what kind of turtle it is, because I found out about snapping turtles the hard way. All right. Well, I'm out of time, Lacey. If people want to know more, where do they go?
So mdc.mo.gov, MissouriConservation.org takes you to the same place. Give us a call, stop by, see us. We'll chat with you about almost anything nature.
Yeah, and they've got lots of stuff. June is full. Lacey Brzezinski, the manager at the Nature Center. Thank you, ma'am.
Bye, Fawn.
Bye.